morning. Today we are going to discuss a rational number change into the form of decimal. Right? For example, it is given that one of the rational number 3 by 8. That 3 by 8 change into the decimal form. So 3 by 8 means 3 is divided by 8. So 0.03, 8 3s are 24. The remainder is 6. Again we can keep 0. 8 7s are 56. Balance remainder 4. Again we can keep one more 0. 8 5s are 40. So remainder is 0. So we cannot continue. Therefore, that 3 by 8 we can write as 0.375. That's all. Because remainder 0. So it is a terminating decimal. Ends with 5. We'll get remainder 0. So 3 by 8 is nothing but its decimal form 0.375. So it ends with 5. So it is a terminating decimal. For example, one more decimal. One more fraction, that is rational number 2 by 11. 2 by 11 is nothing but 2 is divided by 11. Now 0.0, 11 ones are 11, remainder 9. We can keep one more 0. 11 8s are 88. The remainder is 2. Again we can keep one more 0. 11 again ones are 11. Again remainder 9. Again keep 0. 11 8s are 88. Again remainder is 2. Again 0. 11 ones are 11. Again remainder 9. 0. Again 11 8s are 88. The remainder is again 2. So on. That means remainder is not equal to 0. Therefore, that 2 by 11 is equal to 0.1818 and so on. Means it is nothing but this rational number change into the decimal form. The decimal form is 0.1818 and so on. So it is a non-terminating decimal and also recurring. That means 2 by 11 is equal to 0.18 bar. So here the rational number change into the decimal form. Some rational numbers change into the decimal form means they are in the terminating decimal, otherwise they are non-terminating recurring decimals. Right? If it is non-recurring, non-terminating decimal, then it is, first of all, it is not a rational number. So if any rational number we can change into the decimal form, either it is terminating decimal, otherwise it is non-terminating recurring decimal. These are the one of the type, that means the rational number change into the decimal forms. Rational number change into the decimal forms. If a rational number change into decimal form, either it is a terminating decimal, otherwise it is a non-terminating decimal, and also it is a recurring. This is rational number change into the form of decimal, right? By using the general division. Now there is a one more method, that is without division, without performing division, how to decide whether it is a fraction, that fraction is a rational, that means that rational number is a terminating decimal, otherwise it is a non-terminating recurring decimal. That too without performing division, right? Suppose without performing division, how to decide whether the given rational number is a terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal, right? Right. Now, before that, just listen. For example, 2685 divided by 10. 2685 divided by 10 means denominator is a round figure 10. So that 10 means here how many zeros are there? Is only one zero. So we can write as 268.5 because there is a 1 0 now. So we can keep one digit. After one digit only you can keep the point. Suppose same 2685 by 100. Here in denominator it is also round figure, but there are two zeros. So we can write as 26.85. Why? Because in denominator there are two zeros. So after two digits we can keep the point. Suppose 2685 by 1000. Now we can write as 2.685 because in denominator three zeros are there. So after three digits we can keep the point. Suppose if it is 2685 by 10,000. So here four zeros are there. So here after four digits, that means 2685. After four digits we can keep the point. So we can write as 0.2685. Suppose it is 2685 by suppose 1 lakh. So how many zeros are there? 5 zeros. Now here 2685, but here denominator 5 zeros are there. After 5 digits we have to keep the point, but here only 4 digits are there. So keep one more zero. Now it is point right side. How many digits are there? 5 digits. So its value 0.02685. So simple. 2685 by 10, that is 268.5. 2685 by 100, 26.85. 2685 by 1000, 2.685. 2685 by 10,000, that is 0.2685. 2685 by 1 lakh, that is 0.02685. Here without division only, without division we can change into the decimal forms. Without division we can change into the decimal forms. That too terminating decimals. These are all terminating decimals only. So if any fraction change into the fraction is nothing but a rational number, change into the decimal form. If the denominator is in the round figure, that means either 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 like that, then without performing only, without division only, we can say that the decimal forms 268.5, 26.85, so on. So that means without performing the division we can change it to the decimal form, means it is depends on the denominator, whether the denominators are in the round figures. Now we can change into decimal form without division only. So without division change into the decimal form means it is depends on the denominator. That means rational number p by q means it is depends on the q. If the q is in the round figure, either 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, so on like that, without division we can change into the decimal form. Right, that to terminating decimals. Okay, suppose 23 by 5. 23 by 5. 23 by 5 means without division only we have to change it to the decimal form. So simple, make it as a denominator q part into the nearby round figure. Nearby round figure means either 10, 100, 1000 to 1 lakh like that. So 5 into how much is equal to nearby round figure means if it is multiplied by 2, 5 2s are 10. So both numerator and denominator multiplied by 2. So 23 into 2, that is 46 by 5 2s are 10. Now we can write as 4.6 because 1 0 after one digit we can keep the point. See here 23 by 5, without performing the division we can change into the decimal form. Means first the denominator part change into the nearby round figure. That 5 is multiplied by 2, 5 2s are 10, so 46 by 10 is nothing but 4.6. Suppose 323 divided by 25. 323 divided by 25. Now the 25 denominator is 25. If the denominator q part, the 25, if you can change into the nearby round figure, then it is easy to change the decimal form without division. So 25 is multiplied by suppose 4, 25 4s are 100. So both numerator and denominator is multiplied by 4. Now 4 3s are 12, 2 1, 4 2s are 8, 9, 4 3s are 12, divided by 25 4s are 100. Now denominator is round figure, 2 zeros are there, so that is 12.92. So here also 323 by 25, it is a rational number. That rational number also we can change into the decimal form without division. Why? Because the denominator 25 change into the nearby round figure. That means if 25 is multiplied by 4, we will get 100. 100 is a round figure, there are 2 zeros. So after 2 digits we can keep the points of 12.92. This is the main concept. Means without division change into the decimal form. Right? Now how to, without this performing whatever it is, how to decide whether it is terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal. Non-terminating recurring decimal or it is a terminating decimal. So it is very simple. If the denominators we can change into the nearby round figures. Nearby round figures means 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, so on like that. Then we can change. We can say that they are terminating decimals, because if they are in the round figure, they are terminating decimals only. Right? Now the terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal. Right? For example, if it is given that for example 11 by 12, 11 by 12. Now that 11 by 12, in this 11 by 12 denominator is 12. That 12 we cannot change into the nearby round figure, because 12 into anything is not equal to 10, 12 into anything is not equal to 100, 12 into anything is not equal to 1000, 12 into anything is not equal to 1000. That means there is some concept. Okay, why? How can you decide whether it is nearby round figure or not? Okay, the denominator, how can you decide the denominator part in that given fraction, that means rational number, the denominator part, whether it is nearby round figure, we can change the nearby round figure or not. Okay, so the denominator round figure means what? 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, so on like this. So 10 factors, suppose the 10 change into the prime factors, only we can write as 2 5s are 10. 10 divided into prime factors, 2 5s are 10 only. Suppose 100 divided into prime factors, 2 50s are, 2 25s are, 5 5s are. That means 2 into 2, 2 square, 5 into 5, 5 square. 2 square into 5 square. Now the 1000 change into the prime factors, 2 500s, 2 250s, 2 125s, 5 2s are 5 5s are, 5 5s are. So that 1000 we can write as 2 into 2 into 2, 2 cube, 5 into 5 into 5, 5 cube. Similarly, the 10,000 we can write as 2 power 4 into 5 power 4. Suppose if it is 1 lakh, we can change into 2 to the power 5 into 5 to the power of 5. Otherwise 10 lakhs, 6 zeros, means 2 power 6 into 5 power 6. So here, the first of all, that in the fraction, the denominator q part, p by q form, in the denominator q part, if it is in the, we can change into the nearby round figure, then we can say that it is a terminating decimal. So the denominator part in this rational number, the denominator q part, if we can change into the nearby round figure, then without division only we can change it, we can say that it is a terminating decimal only. Now if the denominator part you can change into the nearby round figures, that means like the 10, 20, 100, 1000, 10,000, so on. If you change the prime factors of the denominators, 10 is equal to 2 into 5, 100, 2 square into 5 square, 1000, 2 cube into 5 cube, 10,000, 2 power 4 into 5 power 4, 1 lakh, 2 power 5 into 5 power 5. That means the denominator, see, in the denominator, if any given fraction, the denominator part q, prime factors are in the form of 2 power n into something 5 power n or 5 power n something, whatever it may be, the prime factors are only in terms of only 2 and 5, then we can say that it is a terminating decimal. Why? Because the denominators in the form of prime factors are in the form of only 2 power n into 5 power n, not only n, if we can say that another power also m, then we can change it into the nearby round figure. If it is in the denominator in the round figure, then we can say that without division we can change it to the decimal form, that to terminating decimal. So whether it is decide whether it is a terminating or non-terminating means it is depends on the denominator. If the denominator of the given rational number that is nearby, that means that we can change it to the nearby round figure, is nothing but that prime factors are in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, then we can say without division only we can say that yes, it is a terminating decimal, right? So that means only the 2 to the power of n into 5 to the power of m, denominator q prime factors in the form of p by q, denominator q prime factors in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m. And only the denominator prime factors, only they should be in the form of only 2's and 5's. In that prime factors, only 2's and 5's are there, then we can say that it is a terminating decimal. If there is any other than 2 and 5 prime numbers are there, prime factors are there, then we can say that directly it is a non-terminating but recurring decimal. Why? Because it is a rational number, right? So one more example, simple. Suppose one of the example we can take that first one, 3 by 8 only. 8, denominator is 8, q is 8, that 8 change into prime factors, 8 prime factors. 8 divided into prime factors, 2 4s are, 2 2s are. That means 8 prime factors are only 8 is equal to 2 into 2 into 2, only 2 power 3, 2 cube, right? That means 3 by 8, here 8 is a prime factor. If you 8 divided into prime factors, there are only 2 cube, 2 power 3. So that implies we can write as 3 by 2 cube. If the 2 cube is multiplied by, suppose both numerator and denominator, so 3 into 2, 5 cube is equal to 125 by 2 cube into 5 cube, 2 cube into 5 cube. 2 cube into 5 cube means what? Power 3, that means 1000. 2 5s are 10, 10 power 3, 325 is 375 divided by 2 cube into 5 cube is nothing but 3 zeros. That is 0.375, right? See here, the denominator is 8. 8 we can write as 2 cube. If 2 cube is multiplied by 5 cube, then it is in the form of nearby round figure 1000. So 375 by 1000, that is equal to 0.375. So here without performing the division only we can change into that decimal form 0.375, that to terminating decimal. See, that means the denominator part 8 first change into the prime factors. In that prime factor check whether only they are in the 2's prime factors, 2's or 5's. 2's or 5's and both also. But other than 2's and 5's are there, then we cannot change it to the nearby round figure. That means we cannot change it to the nearby round figures. That too it is not a non-terminating decimal, that too a recurring decimal. For example, one of the example, same previous sum only, 2 by 11. See here 11 into something is not equal to round figure, nearby round figure. That means 11 change into prime factors means only 11 ones are. 11 prime factors are only 11 only. They are not in the form of 2 and 5's. in the denominator prime factors only 2's and 5's are there, only 2's and 5's, then only we can say that it is a terminating decimal. Otherwise it is a non-terminating. Before only already we have proved that 2.2 by 11, that is equal to some 0. I think 18 so on. So it is a non-terminating and a recurring decimal. So denominator, so 3 by 8, 3 by 8 means 8 prime factors, 2 power 3. So the prime factors are only in the terms of 2's or 5's, then we can change it, say that it is a terminating decimal, right? If the denominator part denominator part q prime factors, either they are in the form of 2 power n or 5 power m or 2 power n into 5 power m, no problem. If other than 2 and 5 prime factors are there, then we can say that directly, we can say that it is non-terminating but recurring decimal. If the prime factors of the denominators are 2 power n into 5 power m something, then we can say that directly without division only we can say that it is a terminating decimal, right? So one more example, for example 13 by 3125, 13 by 3125, it is one of the example. Now this fraction, that means that 13 by 3125 rational number, without performing division, decide whether it is a terminating decimal or non-terminating decimal. So first of all, already we know that to decide whether it is a terminating or non-terminating, it is depends on the denominator prime factors, denominator q part. The denominator q part 3125 change into the prime factors. Okay, 3125 prime factors. Suppose last number 5, so 5 6 are 30, 1, 5 2s are 10, balance 2, 25, 5 5s are 25, again 5, 5 1s are 5, balance 1, 5 2s are 10, balance 2, 5 5s are 25, again 5, 5 2s are 10, balance 2, 5 5s are 25, again 5 5s are 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore prime factors of denominator 3125 are 5 5 5 5 5 only, that means 5 to the power of 5. No problem, because 5 power 5, the prime factors only 5. So therefore we can say that it is a terminating decimal. Why? Because the denominator prime factors only 5 to the power of 5. So 13 by 3125 is equal to, we can write as 13 by 3125 is nothing but 5 to the power of 5. If you multiply it by both the 2 power 5 by 2 power 5, so 13 into 2 power 5 is 32 by 2 power 5 into 5 power 5. For 5 2s are 10, 10 power 5, that is equal to 5 zeros, means 10,000, right? 5 zeros is equal to 1 lakh, sorry, 2 power 5 into 5 power 5 into 2 power 5, that is 5 zeros, 1 lakh. 13 into 32, 13 2 is 26, 6 2, 13 3 is 39, 39 plus 41 by 5 zeros. 5 zeros is nothing but after 5 digits we have to keep the point. Here only 4, 1, 6, 3 digits are there. We can keep more 2 zeros before that. So 0.00416 is nothing but 13 by 3125. So 13 by 3125 change into the decimal form. Finally we will get it is a terminating decimal. Why? Because the denominator part prime factors only in the form of 5 to the power of n something. So that 5 power n something we can change into the nearby round figure, because it is multiplied by 2 power 5, we will get 1 lakh. So without performing division only we can say that it is a terminating decimal. No need of this one, simple, only divide the prime factors of denominator, it is in the form of only 5 to the power of m. In that prime factors only 5's are there. Yes, it is a non-terminating decimal, sorry, terminating decimal only. Why? Because the prime factors are only 5's. Otherwise, for example, one more example, 3 by 20. 3 by 20, whether it is a terminating decimal or not, non-terminating recurring decimal. So again, change the denominator into prime factors. Denominator 20, prime factors of denominator. Prime factors of denominator 20 are 20 prime factors. 2 tens are 2 5s are. That means 2 to the power of 2. 2 into 2, 2 square into 5. See here, the denominator prime factors are only 2 and 5. 2 and 5 only prime factors. Right? Now, that 3 by 20, that is equal to 3 by 20 we can write as 2 square into 5. Now, to change to nearby round figure, 2 square is there. Suppose 5 square, 2 square into 5 square, then we can say that it is 100. So here already 1 5 is there. Suppose if you multiplied both numerator and denominator by 5, so 3 5s are 15 by 2 square into 5 into 5, 5 square. Now 2 square into 5 square is nothing but 2 5s are 10, 10 square 100. 100 means 0.15. It is a terminating decimal. Right, simple. So to decide whether it is a terminating non-terminating decimal or terminating decimal. Terminating decimal means simply this depends on the denominator prime factors. The prime factors of the denominators. Prime factors of the denominators only whether they are in the terms of only 2 power something or only 5 power something or both 2 and 5 prime factors are there, no problem. It is a terminating decimal. If the prime factors are other than 2 and 5s are there, that means suppose other than 2 and 5's prime factor 3, 7 like that, then it is a non-terminating recurring decimal. Right? Thank you. Right. Good morning. Now today we are discussing some important topic. Right? Listen. We know that what is the value of root 1? What is the value of root 1? Root 1 means 1. Why? Because it is a perfect square. 1 is a rational number. So therefore root 1 is also a rational number. Root 4 is equal to what? 2. Why? Because it is also perfect square. Root 4 is equal to 2. 2 is a rational number. So we can say that root 4 is a rational number. And root 9 is equal to 3. So root 9 means 3. So 3 is a rational number. Therefore root 9 is also a rational number. That means what? If they are perfect squares, then the square root of some value, if it is a perfect square, then it is a rational number. Now what about root 2? Root 2 means 2 is not a perfect square. 2 is not a perfect square. So root 2 is not a rational number. Why? Because it is root 2 is non-terminating non-recurring decimal. So root 2 is a irrational number. Root 2, root 3, root 5, root 6, root 7, so on. These are all irrational numbers. Why? Because they are not perfect squares. Root 8 also. After that root 9 is a perfect square. So it is a rational. Root 16, root 25, root 36. So they are perfect squares. So they are rational numbers. But these are irrational numbers. Why? Because these are the non-terminating non-recurring decimals. So they are irrational numbers. Right? Already we know that. So root 2 is an irrational number. It is an irrational. It is already we know that it is an irrational. But now the topic is prove that root 2 is an irrational. That is the main important topic. Prove that root 2, square root of 2 is an irrational number. It is an irrational. Now we have to prove that root 2 is an irrational number. Right? This is actually, there are two types of proofs are there. One is direct proof and second one is indirect proof. Now this proof is in the method of indirect proof. That means indirect proof means, let us assume that square root of 2 is a rational number. It is a rational. It is our assumption. Actually, we have to prove root 2 is an irrational. But in this method, let us assume that root 2 is a rational. Right? Now, root 2 is a rational. If root 2 is a rational, then we can say that means we can write that root 2 is in the form of p by q. Why? Because root 2 is a rational. If it is a root 2, let us assume that root 2 is a rational. If it is a rational, then we can write that root 2 in the form of p by q. If it is a rational, then root 2 is equal to, we can write in the form of p by q. Right? Now, if root 2 we can write in the form of p by q, if in this p and q, if there is any common factor other than 1, for example, suppose some p by q, 12 by 8, suppose, let it may be 12 by 8, that means 12 p by q form, but there is a common factor. What? 4 2s are 4 3s are. So that means if there is a common factor, by that common factor divide both the numerator and denominator. That means after simplification we will get 3 by 2. That means if p by q, if root 2 is a rational number, then that root 2 we can write in the form of p by q. In that numerator and denominator p by q, if there is any common factor other than 1, then by that common factor divide both the numerator and denominator. That means after simplification we will get some more fraction. Okay, if there is any common factor in between p and q, then after simplification we'll get that p by q, after simplification we'll get something a by b. After simplification p by q, if there is any other common factor other than 1, after simplification we'll get that p by q, after simplification by the common factor we'll get a by b. Therefore root 2 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-primes. Co-primes means what? There is no common factor in between a and b other than 1. Why? Because if p and q is root 2 is a rational number, then that rational number we can write in the form of p by q. In this p by q, if there is any common factor, then after simplification we will get something a by b. So root 2 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-primes. Co-primes means what? There is no common factor in between a and b. Right? Now root 2 is equal to, therefore root 2 is equal to a by b. Root 2 is equal to a by b. Now squaring on both the sides. Squaring on both sides, whole square, squaring on both sides. Now here square root get cancelled. 2 is equal to a square by b square, because a by b whole square, a square by b square. 2 is equal to a square by b square. By cross multiplication, 2 into b square is equal to a square. 2b square is equals to a square. That means what? A square is equal to 2b square. A square is equal to 2b square. 2b square is equal to a square. So we can say that a square is equal to 2b square. A square is equal to 2b square. A square is equal to 2b square means what? A square is equal to 2b square. 2 into b square. And that means a square we can say that 2 into something. 2 into something. A square we can write as 2 into something. 2 into something means what? It is a multiple of 2. A square is a multiple of 2. a square is a multiple of 2, then we can say that that implies a is also multiple of 2. That implies a square is a multiple of 2. A square is a multiple of 2. Multiple of 2. If a square is a multiple of 2, therefore a is also multiple of 2. A square is a multiple of 2. Why? Because it is 2 into something. 2 into anything is a multiple of 2. Therefore a square is a multiple of 2. A square is a multiple of 2. Then a is also multiple of 2. See, simple. 2 square means 4. 4 is a multiple of 2. Therefore base 2 is also multiple of 2. Next, 3 square 9. 9 is not a multiple of 2. Therefore 3 is not a multiple of 2. That means take 4. 4 square is a multiple of 2. 4 square 16. 16 is a multiple of 2. Therefore 4 base 4 is also multiple of 2. Like that, 6 square 36 is also multiple of 2. So 6 is also multiple of 2. That means if a square is a multiple of 2, if a square is a multiple of 2, then a is a multiple of 2. If a is a multiple of 2, a is a multiple of 2, then for example 6 is a multiple of 2. 6 is a multiple of 2, therefore 2 is a what? 2 is a factor of 6. If 6 is a multiple of 2, then 2 is a factor of 6. Right? If a is a multiple of 2, therefore 2 is a factor of a. That is equation number 1. Right? Here 2 is a multiple of a is a multiple of 2, therefore 2 is a factor of a. That is equation number 1. Right? Now listen. Here a square is a 2b square. A square is 2b square. So a square is a multiple of 2 because 2 into something. So a square is a multiple of 2, then a is a multiple of 2. If a is a multiple of 2, therefore 2 is a factor of a. That is equation number 1. Okay. Now the second part. Listen carefully. Here a is a multiple of 2, no? A is a multiple of 2. Therefore a is a multiple of 2. Therefore a we can write as 2 into something. 2 into anything is a multiple of 2, right? So we can say that 2k. Because a is a multiple of 2. Here already we know that a square is a multiple of 2, therefore a is a multiple of 2. If a is a multiple of 2, therefore a we can write as 2 into something, that is 2k. If a is equal to 2k, this one a value substitute here. Here already we know that a square is equal to 2b square, right? Or 2b square is equal to a. Now in this part a is equal to, write that a square is equal to 2b square. In this a, in place of a substitute 2k. Why? Because a is a multiple of 2. A square is equal to 2b square, where a is equal to 2k. 2k means 2 square 4k square, because it is 2k whole square. 2k whole square means 2 square 4k square, that is equal to 2b square. Therefore 2b square is equal to 4k square, then 2b square is equal to 4k square. Therefore b square is equal to 2b square is equal to 4k square. So b square is equal to 4k square by 2. Now 2 ones are 2 twos are. Therefore finally b square is equal to 2k square. B square is equal to 2k square. B square is equal to 2k square. B square is equal to 2 into something. B square is equal to 2 into something. Therefore we can say that b square is multiple of 2. Multiple of 2. Because b square is a 2 into something. 2 into anything is a multiple of 2. So b square is a multiple of 2. If b square is a multiple of 2, then b is also multiple of 2. B is a multiple of 2. If b is a multiple of 2, then we can say that 2 is a factor of. Therefore 2 is a factor of b. Here 2 is a factor of A, that is equation number 1. Here 2 is a factor of B, that is equation number 2. Now from 1 and 2, we can say that 2 is a factor of A and 2 is a factor of B. So from 1 and 2, we can say that 2 is a common factor of A and B. 2 is a common factor of A and B. Right. If 2 is a common factor of A and B, 2 is a common factor of A and B because from 1 and 2. But already here we know that A and B are what? Co-primes. Co-primes means what? There is no common factor. But here 2 is a common factor of A and B. That means it is contradicts that the given statement. Contradiction. Why? Because it is always true, always false. Why? Because there is no common factor, because they are A and B are co-primes. If A and B are co-primes, there is no common factor. But here we got 2 is a common factor of both A and B. Therefore, our assumption, what is our assumption? Root 2 is a rational. That assumption is a false. Why? Because here we got if A and B are co-primes, but here we got A2 is a common factor of A and B. Co-primes means there is no common factor, but here we got A2 is a common factor of A and B. Therefore, our assumption is false. Our assumption root 2 is a rational, that is false statement. Root 2 is a rational is a false statement. Therefore, our assumption root 2 is an irrational. Root 2 is a rational is false. It is a false statement. Therefore, what is true? Root 2 is an irrational. It is an irrational. See, actually root 2 we know that it is an irrational. But to prove that root 2 is an irrational, it is an indirect proof. Let us assume that root 2 is an irrational. If it is a rational, root 2 is in the form of P by Q, because if it is a rational, then we can write in the form of P by Q. If there is any common factor in between P and Q, then after simplification, we'll get some A by B. If root 2 is equal to A by B, where A and B are co-primes, right? Now squaring on both sides, root 2 square is equal to A by B whole square. Now simplify, we'll get 2 is equal to A square by B square by cross multiplication. 2b square is equal to A square. So A square is equal to 2b square. A square is equal to 2b square. A square is equal to 2b square means what? A square is equal to 2 into something. 2 into something means 2 into anything. 2 into anything is a multiple of 2. So A square is a multiple of 2 because 2 into something is a multiple of 2. If A square is a multiple of 2, then we know that A is also multiple of 2. If A is a multiple of 2, then 2 is a factor of A. If A is a multiple of 2, then 2 is a factor of A. That is equation 1. Now, if A is a multiple of 2, so A is equal to, we consider that it is a multiple of 2. Multiple of 2 means 2 into something. 2 into something means we can write as 2 into some k. A is equal to 2k. That A is equal to 2k, substitute here. 2b square is equal to A square, or A is equal to 2b square. In this A square is equal to b square. In this A square is equal to b square. Substitute in place of A, that is 2k. So A square means 2k whole square is equal to b square. 2k whole square means 4k square, that is equal to b square. So b square is equal to 4k square by 2. Simplify, then b square is equal to 2k square. B square is equal to again 2k square. B square is equal to 2k square. Means what? B square is also 2 into something. B square is also 2 into something. 2 into something, 2 into anything is a multiple of 2. So B square is a multiple of 2. If B square is a multiple of 2, then we know that B is also multiple of 2. If B is a multiple of 2, then 2 is a factor of B. So here we got 2 is a factor of A, and here we got 2 is a factor of B. So from equation 1 and 2, you can say that 2 is a common factor of A and B. 2 is a common factor of A and B. But here, where A and B are what? Co-primes. Co-primes means there is no common factor. But here we got 2 is a common factor of A and B. Therefore, it is a contradict that the given statement, that means root 2 is an rational, it is a contradiction statement. That means our assumption root 2 is a rational, it is a false statement. If root 2 is a rational is false, root 2 is a rational is false statement, then what is true? root 2 is an irrational. Root 2 is a rational, that is false. Now what is true means root 2 is irrational. So actually it is a very important sum. It's a very important, but and also it is very confusing sum also. Okay, root 2 is an irrational. Prove that root 2 is an irrational. Right? Very important topic. Thank you. Right. Now one more example, that is prove that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Prove that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Again, it is also same indirect proof only. So let us assume that root 2 plus root 3 is a rational. Assume that root 2 plus root 3 is a rational. Right? So if it is a rational, therefore that root 2 plus root 3 we can write in the form of P by Q form. Because it is a rational, not a rational, let us assume that if it is a rational, then root 2 plus root 3 we can write as in the form of P by Q. Let us make example A by B. The root 2 plus root 3 is a rational number, that means A by B. Now squaring on both the sides. Root 2 plus root 3 whole square is equal to A by B whole square. Squaring on both sides. Now A plus B whole square. A square plus B square plus 2AB is equals to A by B whole square, means A square by B square. Square roots get cancelled. 2 plus 3 plus 2 into root 2 3 is a 6, that is equal to A square by B square. 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 2 root 6 is equal to A square by B square. Therefore 2 root 6 is equals to A square by B square minus 5. That implies 2 root 6 is equal to, if we take LCM, B square, A square minus 5B square. Now root 6 is equals to A square minus 5B square by 2 into B square, 2B square. Right? Finally, we'll get root 6 is equal to A square plus minus 5A square, 5B square by 2B square, where A and B are integers. If A and B are integers, then A square minus 5B square by 2B square is a rational number. It is a rational number. But A square minus 5B square by 2B square is a rational. But root 6 is an irrational. It is an irrational. That means here root 6 is irrational. Right side part RHS, A square minus 5B square by 2B square is a rational. So here it is irrational, it is rational. That means it is a contradicts. Why? Because an irrational number never equals to a rational number. Rational is not equals to irrational. Here root 6 is irrational. Right side part A square minus 5B square by 2B square is a rational. So rational is not equals to an irrational number. Therefore, it is a contradiction. It is a contradiction. Why? Because an irrational number is not equal to a rational number. Therefore, our assumption, what? Root 2 plus root 3 is a rational, is false statement. It is a false statement. Because it is root 6 is irrational, right side part is a rational. Irrational, rational are equal means it is impossible. Impossible means what? It is a contradiction. So our assumption is false. Therefore, what is true? Root 2 plus root 3 is a rational, is a false statement. Root 2 plus root 3 is a rational, is false. Then what is true? Root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Right? So finally here root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational, that is the, we have to prove root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. To prove that, it is an indirect proof. Let us assume that root 2 plus root 3 is a rational. If it is a rational, that we can write in the form of p by q. Let us assume that it may be a by b. Now squaring on both sides, root 2 plus root 3 whole square is equal to a by b whole square. Simplify, then we'll get 2 root 6 is equal to something a square minus 5 by root a square by b square minus 5. Then simplify, finally we'll get root 6 is equal to a square minus 5b square by 2b square. Now here LHS part, left hand side part root 6 is irrational, right hand side part is rational, but we know that a rational number is not equals to an irrational number. That means it is a contradiction, that our assumption is false. Our assumption root 2 plus root 3 is a rational, it is a false statement. Therefore root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. It is one of the example. Now one more example. One more example. Suppose 5 plus root 3. Prove that 5 plus root 3 is irrational. Is an irrational. Prove that 5 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Again, it is indirect proof. Let us assume that let 5 plus root 3 is a rational. If it is a rational, again it can be written in the form of p by q. So that p by q is nothing but it is in the form of p by q. Let it may be a by b, where a and b are integers, where b is not equal to 0. So root 5 plus root 3 is equal to a by b. Therefore root 3 is equal to a by b minus 5. So that means root 3 is equal to, by one LCM is b, a minus 5b. But here also again same, is equal to left hand side part is root 3, it is an irrational. Right hand side a minus 5 by b is a rational. Again root 3 is irrational, but RHS a minus 5b by b is a rational. Therefore it is a contradiction, because irrational number is equal to a rational means it is contradicts, because it is always false, it is impossible. Therefore our assumption root 3 5 plus root 3 is a rational is false statement, because 5 plus root 3 is a rational, that is our assumption. But here finally we got irrational is equal to rational, but it is a contradiction. Irrational number is equal to rational means it is impossible. So our assumption is false. Therefore what is assumption? Root 5 plus root 3 is a rational, is a false statement. Now what is true? 5 plus root 3 is an irrational. So finally here root 2, first one root 2 is an irrational, and second one root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number, and third one 5 plus root 3 also irrational number. So these are the proofs by using the indirect proof. Indirect means, let us assume that whatever we prove, that means we have to prove it is an irrational number. So let us assume that it is a rational number. Finally we conclude that our assumption is false, so the given statement is true. Given statement root 5 plus, sorry, 5 plus root 3 is irrational. But our assumption is 5 plus root 3 is a rational. That means our assumption is false. So the given statement is true. That means 5 plus root 3 is a irrational number. Right? Thank you. So we have completed the rational numbers, the first chapter of the 10th class SSC. Real numbers topic is completed. Right? Thank you.